Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author and a depression survivor. Welcome to another edition of One-on-One with the Depression Counselor. Today's video is about the subject, when someone you love is depressed. You know, in the 12 years that I've been working with depression support groups, I've gotten a lot of calls from people who didn't want to talk about themselves, but wanted to talk about a friend or a family member who was going through depression and anxiety. And what they told me was that having that happen, having someone they really care about being depressed or anxious, is almost as painful as being depressed or anxious themselves, in some cases more. So it could be a parent or a child, a husband or a wife, a friend or someone even they know casually. But whoever that person is, it's important I tell the individual, you need to learn how to be an ally in healing. And today I want to give some tips about how to do that. So there are two things that you can do if you have a close friend or loved one who is suffering from severe depression. You can say certain things and you can do certain things that will be of help. So let's start off by beginning by saying what not to say. What not to say is snap out of it. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. This might seem obvious, but when I was going through my depression 17 years ago, so many people said that to me. That's not possible because depression is not a conscious issue. It's a brain disorder. It's a biochemical disorder. That's like trying to tell a person who has cancer to snap out of their tumor. That would seem like nonsense, and it's in the same way nonsense to tell someone who's depressed to snap out of it. The other thing you don't want to say is, well, why are you depressed? I mean, you have a job, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a child, you have a roof over your head, or look on the bright side, think of what you do have. Well, normally, that's a good technique in cognitive therapy. But when, again, a person's brain is so dysregulated, they cannot hold a positive thought for any long period of time. So again, all that will do is make the person feel worse. Now, I would like to share with you a list of things that are helpful to say. The first one would be, I love you. I care about you. I have compassion for what you're going through. You're not alone in this. You are going to get better. You will come out of this. And I'm going to stick with you until you get through this. These are phrases of support and compassion and unconditional love that you make without requiring the person change in the moment, because oftentimes they're not capable of. So now I want to talk about what you can do. And the most important thing you can do is that you can basically help the person get mental health treatment. Help them hook up with a psychiatrist, a nurse practitioner, a counselor, some professional help, because that's what it takes when a person is severely depressed or severely anxious. This may mean making some calls, tracking down a good, mental health professional, driving your friend or your family member to the first appointment, driving them back, helping them monitor their medication, but support them in getting into treatment. The second thing you can do is to help them with what I call activities of daily living. So many people, when they get depressed in my groups, they would basically, go to bed, pull down the blinds, not answer the phone, not open the mail, not do the dishes. And these are things people help with when they're severely disabled. So you can come over, on certain days and help with the dishes and help open the mail and basically maybe take them out for a walk or go to a movie or go to a dinner. Just help them get functioning and active, because when you're sitting around, perseverating on your own pain, you don't get better. Here's a story I really want to share that illustrates this point. There were three men who simultaneously came to my group, all in their 60s, all had just retired. We'll call them Ed and John and David. And they were tremendous in helping each other. And there was one period where Ed was having a really difficult time. He was in bed, not able to get out, not able to function. So one day, John and David came over to his house at 9 a.m., parked themselves in his living room and said, we are not leaving until you get out of bed, and we're going to take you on a walk in the gorge so you can actually start to feel better. And sure enough, they waited till they got up, they rousted him out of bed, they went out to the gorge, they took a hike up Angel's Rest, and it was a beautiful day. By the time they came back, they had dinner, and Ed was in a completely different state of mind at the end of the day than at the beginning. And this became a ritual where they would take turns supporting each other, getting out and doing something positive, productive, and pleasurable. So, it's so important to help that person stay as active as they can while they're getting treatment. And the final thing you can do that is really helpful is to hold what I call a vision of their recovery. In one of our other videos, we talk about setting the intention to heal, how you need to set, create a picture of yourself, of your mental health recovery, see and feel what it's like, to be better. But you can't do that by yourself. You need other people to hold that vision with you, to believe for you what you can't always believe in yourself. So you can silently hold that vision of recovery for your friend or loved one while helping them out in the physical world, and tell them, hey, I'm not only with you here physically, but I'm with you here spiritually, and I'm going to focus on your recovery with you until it actually manifests and becomes a reality. Before I wrote my book, Healing from Depression, I read all of the memoirs I could find about people who had come through depression, who had been to hell and come back. And in every single one, they said, I couldn't have made it without my therapist, without my doctor, without my wife, without my child, without my series of friends. They all acknowledged that it took other people to help them through the dark night and see them into the light of day. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope you've benefited from these tips. In my next video, I'm going to talk about ways as a caregiver that you can prevent caregiver burnout so you can be there to really support your loved one. Until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery.